Hey everyone, well, as you might have seen in a recent inspection video, there's a few things that we needed to address fairly urgently with our new to us coach CC. So that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Stay tuned. Welcome back everyone. Again, today's video we're going to be talking about some of the initial repairs we needed to do to our new to us coach CC, because after our inspection video we had seen a number of things we knew we needed to take care of right away. The first of which is definitely new tires. The tires on the coach when we were first looking at it were visibly aged. Even the newest looking tires were already 4 years old, and the old tires on the back had big chunks missing out of them, and if you could reach over the tire treads you could feel the tread was really uneven and hardly any of it there. Couldn't find the date codes on those old rear tires, which to me tells me they were probably mounting them intentionally to hide those date codes, because date codes are usually only on one side of the tire. But I knew that tires are going to be very urgent. I also didn't like that the tires that were on the coach were not the original size tires for the coach. They actually had two different sizes, all of which were larger in height and in width, which I'm not a fan of. I wanted to go back to the original size tire. So knowing what size tire I'm going to want to put on this coach, assuming the purchase went through, I did a lot of research to tire shops in the area where the dealership was, and I was able to find a dealership that had the exact tire size and the brand tire I wanted. They had a less expensive brand that was around $3,500 out the door for the 6 tires, and then they also gave me a quote for the Michelin tires at around $4,500 for those 6 tires. Because we're FMCA members, I was actually able to use the FMCA tire discount program, which actually saved me about $700 on the tire purchase. Pulled those tires off and got an even closer look at just how bad they were. And you can see from this footage here, the tread is virtually gone on this tire here. And in this other picture here, you can see some chalk lines on the tire, and that's to indicate from the guys at the tire shop there was just deep cracking. It was actually just about to fail. So really glad that we got the new tires on it. It's a huge safety feature. I knew it was going to be a big factor, but even once I pulled those tires off, I had an even higher awareness of just how bad they were. So once I got those tires installed, the next place I went was to a gas station. It's going to be interesting to see just how much fuel this thing takes, and I got a feeling it's going to be pretty expensive. I ended up needing close to $300 in fuel in the motorhome. Next place I went was at a truck stop that had a CAT scale, which stands for Certified Automated Truck Scale. And basically what that is it's a large scale. It's usually used by large semi-trucks, and they pull up onto them, and it's broken into pieces so that it can weigh your motorhome and your tow vehicle by each individual axle. Now I knew I had full water and I knew I had full fuel, so I made note of that on my receipt when I had that weight, so that I would be able to keep track of that. If I had a future weigh-in and I didn't have full fuel or didn't have full water, I can take those calculations into account in getting the accurate weight of the motorhome. So once you get your RV measured on the CAT scale, you'll get a printout that looks kind of like this. So on that day, the front axle was 10,060 pounds, the drive axle was 17,900 pounds, and our tow vehicle, the Jeep, weighed 4,500 pounds. So the weight of the motorhome by itself was just short of 28,000 pounds. And we have a GVWR, which means a total maximum weight of over 32,000 pounds. So I actually had 4,000 pounds to spare for cargo, and that is with a full tank of water, which of course at 100 gallons would weigh 830 pounds just in water on board. From previous weigh-ins from our previous motorhome, I knew we had less than 2,000 pounds of gear, so I was really confident that it would very easily carry all of our cargo and stay well within our total cargo capacity. The next stop was going to a Speedco location. Speedco is basically like a Jiffy Lube except for large vehicles. 95 to 98% of their business is semi-truck drivers, over-the-road truckers, but if you have a large diesel motorhome, they will let you come and get your vehicle serviced at those locations. So we changed our oil, changed the differential fluid, changed the fuel filters, oil filters, lubed all the chassis, lubed the wheel bearings as well. Really give a good look over of the motorhome. And these Speedco are a national chain, and I was super impressed with the service I had there. Felt the price was really reasonable, and I was out of there in probably an hour. I intended to get an air filter change there as well. Unfortunately, they did not have my air filter in stock. That's something I could probably do on my own. I'm used to changing air filters in my cars. Something really funny I got to share with that process is that the people that had mounted this before had the top, which is completely sealed, up against the air intake for the engine, which of course would mean the filter is doing next to nothing, and it would be robbing power from the poor motorhome. It's crazy people. So don't always assume that the way something was installed is the way you should install it. So another change I had to make fairly urgently was the blade valves or knife valves in the wet bay in the motorhome. You might have seen in the inspection video that they were leaking. As soon as I put water into the gray tank, it was dripping out from where that blade valve was in the wet bay, which to me meant I had to always be at a full hookup site because I needed to leave that valve open or else I'd be dripping onto the ground, and I don't like to do that. So things that are wear and tear items like blade valves, knife valves, they're meant to wear out over time. So if you have them in an easily replaceable area, that's going to make it a lot easier for you and also save you hours in the repair shop, which can save you a lot of money when they're not having to spend as much time doing that. Another thing that was not addressed in the RV inspection, but I did find out once I tried to hook up our tow vehicle, is that the wiring for the trailer hitch was not done properly. And when I dug up underneath there, it was a mess. As you can see here, we had 6 wires going into 4, and it was all cut and mired and just a big tangled mess. I did some research on and some testing with my testing equipment, figured out what the wires should be, and then just went in there, cut it all out, put in a new part, and was able to get that remedied pretty quickly. A couple other issues identified during the inspection were the inverter and the batteries. We've been doing a ton of research on those, and we're going to be sharing our choices on the inverter and batteries in an upcoming video, so be sure to stay tuned. Thanks for watching today's video. I hope you found it helpful. You know, with any RV, you're going to have small repairs and updates you need to be making with maintenance. Have any questions or comments, please leave those down below. I'll be happy to answer them for you. And until next time, we'll see you on the road. Sorry, it's noisy. One of the things from the inspection was that, boy, there's a lot of traffic outside. I changed the black and gray tank valves, waste tank valves. And I changed the generator oil all today. I'm also gonna fix there's one other little bolt that I need to put into the front